Hello and welcome back to Live Drawing with Octopolis. Uh-oh. Looks like our overhead cam is dead. Hopefully we're back. Hey, there it is. I don't know what happened. The overhead camera died. Good to see everybody today. Thank you guys for joining for Live Drawing with Octopolis. Today we're going to have a ton of fun drawing some characters from Cobra Kai. So good to see everybody. Hope you're having a good week. Good to see you, Evan. Evan's like, I have that keyboard, right? Yeah, the same generic keyboard that comes with every Mac. I hope you guys are having a good week. Hope you're looking forward to the weekend and ready to have some fun today. It's been far too long since we've done a daytime stream. Evan says, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Evan, because this sketch is for you. So this is one commissioned by Evan for Cobra Kai. I think it's going to be mostly grayscale, but might do a little color, a little yellow wash or something into the logo. So I think this will mostly be a combination of pencils and pens and markers. Maybe just a little bit of color paint in there to give it a little bit of pop. But it's nice to be back on a daytime stream. As hectic as it's been, let me tell you, just so many changes with Streamlabs and everything. The last couple of streams I've had, I thought I wasn't going to even get to stream because there's so many changes. Hey, Catherine, good to see you here. Thanks for the cheer. Catherine cheered 10 bits. There they go, right into the tip jar. Thank you, Catherine. Good to see you. Hopefully we'll have some fun with Johnny and Daniel today from Cobra Kai. So what do you guys think about this show? I'll admit I haven't watched too much of it yet, but I was a fan of Karate Kid. And when I first heard the idea for this show, I thought it was an interesting concept. I think it was originally on YouTube Red, and then now it's on Netflix, and that seems to be where it's really taken off. Hey, Quinch Press just resubscribed. 10 months, can you believe it? Wow. Thank you, Quinch Press. 10 months. I think you've got the Viking helmet now. I think Streamlabs does the next hat upgrade at 12 months. But thank you. So you have the penultimate Octopolis icon hat right now. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but when Streamlabs rebooted the other night on Tiki Tuesday, it gave me an Octopolis badge finally, so that was nice. I'm sure I could have turned one on all along, but I thought it was funny that it decided to give me one instead of whatever my generic channel owner badge was before. Let me know what you guys are up to this week. Let me know how things are going on this beautiful Thursday for you. Hopefully it's going well. I'm just kind of deciding which areas I want to keep in black pencil before I start putting any of the ink down on this. Oh, hey, thanks for the cheer. Evan cheered 5 bits. Thank you, Evan. Appreciate it, man. Hopefully this sketch will be worth getting excited about. And I've got a few others in the queue. It's been so hectic. Which isn't a bad thing, not at all. Chris and I were even talking today about how it's 2020 and 2021. It's just feast or famine, you know. It's just 1 month we're like, how are we going to eat? And then the next month it's like, how are we going to keep up? It's just crazy. I guess that's everything right now. I started a new documentary on Netflix, the one about the samurai. Evan's like, I miss the daytime streams. I do too. I mean, I would definitely want to do more. And I'm actually contemplating doing more sketches and stuff again. So right now the couple of big projects are taking up a lot of my time, but I think we're hopefully getting to a little bit of a balance point. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, the truth is that you guys that are already here, you do everything that you need to be done. Quench Press says, I'm having connection issues. Video has been stuck since my last message. On my end, it says the connection is excellent. So, Evan, let me know if the video is good for you, and then we can decide if Quench Press needs to reboot or if I need to reboot. But it says I have an excellent connection right now, so for whatever that means. But everything is new on Streamlabs, like it's so different. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's something weird going on. So definitely let me know. Evan reading to hydrate. Cheers, Evan. This one is the sparkling berry. All right, Catherine says the video is good, and I think it's good for Evan. So Quench, you might just need to close your window and retry or something. I'm actually glad to hear it's not me for a change, because man, Tuesday night, I think Monday and Tuesday, everything was so weird. Like at my Qbert class on Monday, my Photoshop has never acted as bad as it did during that class. And anything to do with Google Classroom just sucks and blows. And so, I mean, I love that it's a free service and all that, but like as far as like sharing screen and video and Photoshop stuff, it just doesn't work very well. And so I've never seen it act as bad as it did Monday though. And then Tuesday on the Tiki stream, we had some weird issues beforehand. So hopefully this new upgrade that they did to Streamlabs this week will fix everything. You never know. The stuff, it changes so fast, you know. That's for better or worse. That's part of it. Evan says, that's a good one, to the sparkling berry. Yeah, one of my favorites. I like berry. I like the Raz Crayon quite a bit. Key lime. Limoncello, of course. It's probably my favorite. I don't know. It might be a fight between limoncello and key lime. It's like sparkling water battle. Sparkling water battle. Who will win? Evan said, so that is a glitch with the layer mode, but I don't know how it happens, but I can fix it. Oh, where it was making every new layer a multiply layer? I did not have time to look into that yet, but I'm very curious to know how that could happen, and if it's repeatable, and then if it is repeatable, is it exploitable into something positive instead of something negative? You know, could I have something where when I want to make a special effects layer or something, like I can auto-generate a screen mode layer without having to, you know, make a new layer and set to screen mode and all that. So I'm curious for sure. And for those of you that have been watching the Stargirl videos on Patreon, I can tell you guys that the art is now coming in for the issue that I did that cover for. So I'm going to be starting on the interior pages for that real soon. And I love coloring Todd Knox art, so it should be a real good time. And I will be sure. There's a really nice spread in there, so I'll probably record the spread, so that we'll have some good video of that. Monique says, so is it Cobra Kai or is it Karate Kid? It's Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai. Good to see you, Monique. Thanks for joining us today. And is this the first daytime stream of the year and it's already March? That's kind of embarrassing. Evan says, it started doing it in hard mix mode too. Oh man, that's crazy. And is only that one file or different files? I swear there's something up with that file. Because after I had your file open, Evan, that's when all kinds of weird stuff started happening. Yeah, Monique, this one is Cobra Kai, and Evan commissioned it, but Evan's gonna do it as a giveaway. So I don't know, Evan. Did we talk about what the contest is or should be, or we're gonna work that out? I'm not sure. I'm so focused on making the art. I think that's. How do I put this? I don't want to be in denial, but I don't believe that I have time management issues. My actual belief is that I'm very good at scheduling out things like doing Tiki Tuesdays and doing sketches and that sort of thing. And I'm pretty good about sticking to schedules. But the problem is, or the issue at hand is most of the clients that I work for do not stick to their schedules, right? So when there's an emergency and I'm on call, I don't really have a choice. And so that's been probably where a lot of the biggest challenges, and not just streaming, but like everything in my life, stem from, is that, I can make all sorts of plans and, want to make videos and sketches and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, when Warner Brothers or Disney or Lucasfilm says jump, I have to jump. It's how I make a living, So oftentimes those are the things that throw my best laid plans into disarray. And I'm not complaining because they're great. They're great companies to work with and they're awesome jobs. But I know as fans and followers, it can be disappointing when you're expecting me here on a Thursday or a Tuesday or something, and then I have to be like, oh, sorry, no stream today. I know that's frustrating. So I appreciate you guys sticking with it. Evan says, the layer thing is happening randomly. And then I said that my computer was messing up after I opened his file. He's like, oh, great, I broke hi-fi. Evan says, we should use the giveaway to get more subscribers. Yes, I agree with that. Okay, so are we thinking some combination of Twitch and Patreon, or one or the other? It was kind of funny. We lost a $10 Patreon member like Monday or Tuesday, and then like 5 minutes later we gained like a $35 Patreon member. So it's sort of funny how that happened. And it's tough too, because people go, oh, you've got these members and they're giving you this much money. And I'm like, yeah, but when you back out the actual Patreon fees and credit card fees and merch fees and all that stuff, oftentimes it's less than half and usually more like 30%. So, that person that's pledging $35 a month, Christy and I are lucky if $10 or $12 of that actually comes to us. So, it's a good system, but Patreon is nice, especially for getting video to people. It's been worked out really, really well for that. But the actual artist that you're supporting, and while they're thrilled to have it, it's you just have to be aware that they're not getting the lion's share of that money all the time. We've been in discussions with this company called With Friends. So we're thinking about moving some of the merchandise keeping all the video content with Patreon, but maybe moving some of the merchandise away. So we'll see how that goes, but that's still like at least a month or two away. Johnny, why do you have to be so bad and good and bad again and then good again? So Quench Press, are you there? Did you get your problems sorted? Is the video play for you? I'm just teasing. Hopefully it's working much better. And I think today's our first multi-stream day, so some people may be seeing this on YouTube or Facebook in addition to Twitch. If that's the case, because it's our first multi-stream day, I'm only seeing comments made on the Twitch, Octopolis Twitch channel. So if you're commenting and I'm not responding, I am sorry. I'll have to see which system for reading all those and responding to all those comments at the same time works best. But thank you to everyone who's tuned in. I really enjoy doing these drawings and interacting with you guys. So we can hang out. We can talk Cobra Kai, your favorite comics, what you're watching on the streaming services right now. Let me know what's up with you. Monique says, yeah, somehow I ended up on Facebook first and didn't see any conversation and got no response. Well, there you go, Monique. Thanks for letting me know that. Yeah, so Streamlabs has turned on multi-streaming for this channel, which means that we're now streaming to Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. But that's new to me today as well. So I need to either figure out how to have all three of those windows open at the same time and still be able to see my art and stream, or I'm sure there's some sort of app or software or something that will let me see all those chat streams at the same time, so, or get them all integrated into one place. So I would have prepared, except for I didn't know they were going to turn that on for me today, so it's new, but good. It's a good thing. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube today or if you're watching on Facebook, sadly I cannot see your comments on there today, but we will in the future. Oh, Catherine, is it still showing up as Tiki Tuesday category on your end? You know, that may be part of the new stream setup today too, because I know I changed it to art and put in live streaming, and then like I think everything crashed and I had to redo it. So it may have not kept that setting. So that's interesting. Yeah, the art streams, it's tough to tell. Like the Tiki Tuesday is by far the most popular stream. And when we were doing the TNT streams, they would be hit or miss. They would sometimes be the most popular streams and sometimes be the least popular streams. So there was no rhyme or reason on those. And when I first started, I thought that, oh, Quinch says it's showing us Tiki Tuesday for you too. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know. I'm pretty sure that's because Streamlabs crashed right when I was doing the 5-minute countdown and I had to reboot it. So that's probably what happened. Hey, even though I've been streaming now for what we decided was a year, it's almost like it's all new today with this new version of Streamlabs. So I have new things to learn and figure out. But thank you both for letting me know. I really do appreciate that. Because I know I changed it at least once on my end, but it doesn't mean it's stuck. Especially when I go live, you have to put in which category you're in each time. And it seems like no matter what my previous stream was, it defaults to Tiki Tuesday. So it's definitely possible. Monique says, oh, let's see. Quinch Press says, had to reset my router. Things seem to be good now. That's good to hear. Monique says, today has been a great day for deliveries. I got my records, my signed book, and my booze. Well, that is a great day for deliveries. And Evan redeemed a posture check. Oh, thank you, Evan. Been so stiff. I appreciate that. All right, so we've got most of the super heavy black shadow on Johnny. Let's start on Daniel. Yeah, a good delivery day. That'll put you in a good mood for sure. I know. Who was it? Somebody was telling some story about Amazon Prime. You know, speaking of deliveries, though, I sent out all those mystery tubes, and I really appreciate everyone who purchased one. I've had quite a few people ask if those were all pre-made or if I made them individually. No, I made each one of those as they were ordered. So if you had ordered from Octopolis before, I looked back at your order history and did my best to make sure that nobody was getting any duplicates. Obviously, if you ordered from somewhere else, I don't know that. But if you'd ordered from Octopolis, I had the ability to check. And if I know you, I try to put things in there that I would thought you might like. And if I sort of only part know you from the internet or whatever, I still try to put things in there I thought you would like. So I appreciate everyone who took advantage of that, and I really appreciate all the great feedback that I've been getting for the mystery tubes, and it's really fun. But the shipping definitely has been a little bit of a nightmare. Mostly just because the USPS online tracking system doesn't seem to be updated correctly, and so a lot of them would show that they had not left Arizona, or that they were somewhere else, and then about the time we're trying to file a claim and people are really upset, it would just show up at their house, even though online it showed it never left Arizona. So hopefully everybody has theirs by now, but that was a little bit stressful for sure. Monique says, my next Tiki Tuesday drink won't be tiki, but it'll be a Violet Cosmo. Ooh, that sounds good. Now, what makes it violet? Is it just a mix-in, or is there some certain liqueur that you like in there, like a Chambord or something? I'll make Christy French martinis a lot of times. She likes those. And because of Tiki Tuesday, I always have pineapple in the house. So, give her... If you like that kind of thing, a French martini is so easy to make. And they taste really nummy because it's just like 1.5 ounces of vodka, 1/4 ounce of Chambord. You can go up to 1/2 if you really like Chambord, but you have to be careful. It's really overpowering. And then, again, about 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces of pineapple. What you want is a 3-ounce cocktail when it's done. So, you're going to go if you do 1/4 of Chambord, you're going to do just under 1.5 ounces of pineapple. Give it a good shake. You want to chill the glass first on one of those. So like if you're using like a martini glass, you want to fill it full of ice and let that sit for like 5 minutes. So that when you pour the cocktail in, the glass is already chilled, and that's going to really help the flavor. It's going to be really good. So if you like that sort of thing, they're easy to make. And they're really kind of got a nummy, pineapple-y kind of flavor. So if you know someone who maybe isn't into like alcohol-forward drinks and they're not sure what they like, it's kind of a safe drink to make for someone, because odds are that they will like it. Monique says it's vodka, creme de viette, cranberry juice, and lime juice, garnished with a few violet blooms. There you go. Is it creme de violet or creme de viette? Creme de violet. Okay, yeah. I should have just read it as violet to start with. I thought maybe it was some like cool Russian, like creme de viette. I was getting all excited. I was like, oh man, Monique's got some cool Russian alcohol she's bringing into the country. I noticed when I was doing my research for this sketch that they hardly ever key light Ralph Macchio like this. Macchio. Everyone I know whose name is spelled that way, it's Machio, but I think he goes by Machio. But I think it's something about his facial construction. They almost always like backlight him, or do like maybe just like a really thin like side light or rim light on him, I noticed. But it was kind of rare to find like any kind of strong lighting on the reference images. It feels like they want to play up his profile more than like his face. But I don't think he looks like crazy bad or anything. Like, you know, some actors don't look like themselves as they age or whatever. Like they don't look the way you remember them, I guess. But I don't think he looks like rough or anything. So I don't know why they would do that. Monique says, my phone is acting up again. Lol. Yeah, as soon as I should have just read it as Violet. I got all excited. Catherine says, my dad used to go to Russia all the time for work. Oh, cool. Was he in the KGB? Oh, no, I'm just teasing. And he knew the way to my heart was to bring back good vodka. Yeah, I bet. I mean, I think that seems like good parenting right there. That's what that is. Solid parenting skills. Try to keep this on camera for you guys. Ralph Macchio, man, he's got totally rad hair, doesn't he? It's like thick and luscious. Catherine says he hung out with the KGB. Oh, sweet. I like it. I'm interested. I watched that whole Spycraft documentary thing on Netflix. That was pretty cool. Always fascinated by that kind of stuff. I know I've told this story before, but I was at the Tribeca Film Festival one year and got to meet Eric Prince, the founder of Blackwater, and he had his movie there about the Somali pirates. Now, I'm no fan of his, and I'm certainly no fan of any sort of violent insurrection, any of that stuff. So just remember, this was years and years ago, before any of that. But it was interesting to hear his take on, how do we put it, on private contractor or mercenaries' role in geopolitical activity around the world, and how they were being hired to fight these Somali pirates. But the part that they're quick to admit to is that they're like, but if the Somali pirates had paid us more, we'd probably worked for them. So that was kind of the weird moral flexibility or ambiguity or whatever you want to call it. It's like, I guess it's that thing that we all have a choice, right? Quench Press must be working because he usually posts a lot more. Trying to get my drawing of Daniel here dialed in. Looking good. Did any of you guys go back and watch Space Sweepers on Netflix? It's a Korean sci-fi film. I kind of dug it. I thought it was cool. I really liked the ship design, especially because they had like the ships designs for the wealthy and the elite, and then like the ships for like the common class and stuff. It was really cool. Monique says, I got another sampler pack, so I have more Mai Tais for the future Tiki Tuesdays. But I'm just really looking forward to this Violet Cosmo very soon. Also have some Elijah Craig and Gentleman Jack for Gentleman Jack Manhattans and Elijah Craig Old Fashions. Got some bee's knees for Jeff too. That sounds good. I like the brown liquor. We all know that. A friend of mine suggested Slane, S-L-A-N-E, Irish whiskey as an inexpensive Irish whiskey that was about the same price but better than something like Jameson's, which is, around the world, any bar you walk into, they have Jameson's, right? So as we travel around the world, that's usually one that you can count on. And I got to say, he was right. It's like a $20 bottle, and it's by no stretch of the imagination is it the best whiskey I've ever had, but I would say at $20, it's punching well above its weight class and eminently drinkable for the price. So yeah. But that's cool that you guys are making Manhattans and Old Fashions and bee's knees. Good stuff. We know Quinch Press and I are hopefully going to have a future episode with some mixology for Tiki Tuesday. The weather's starting to turn a little nicer here in Arizona, so get him over here and outdoor bar and do some live cocktails and stuff. That'll be fun. Monique says the recipe for bee's knees: gin, honey, simple syrup, and lemon juice. Yeah, I have a friend. That's one of her favorites. She loves that one. She's a fan of the bee's knees. Quinch Press is looking forward to making that happen. Yeah. Me too, man. Me too. I saw that you mentioned that the Tiki Oasis in Arizona was not canceled, was still happening in April, but that you chose to give up your ticket. I think that's smart. It seems a little too soon for big live events, as much as I would want to go to them. It's just, especially if we're looking at having a lot more people vaccinated by April and May. It's like, we can wait. We've been waiting a year, another 60 days to be safe. Should be, it's definitely a burden, but why endanger others? All right, these guys are starting to come together a little bit. There's going to be a lot of shading and stuff to do to them, but we're getting there. Monique's like, one of Jeff's favorite too, because he's a beekeeper. Yeah, I thought about that as soon as you said bee's knees. I was like, no, I know you guys got bees. And I don't remember what it is now, Monique, but you got the thing I sent you the link to a while back that was bee related. I can't remember now, my brain. I just remember seeing something. I was like, oh, I got to share that with Monique right now. That's kind of how my brain works. I'm just like, it's like share and purge. I think it's because of all the scripts that I read that over the years I've just got used to like reading the information, applying the information, and then like it's gone, moving on. That's just how my brain processes all that stuff. I have to say, though, I was reading a script for a new comic yesterday. I can't say what comic it is yet, but great script. Like, really impressive and well done, and lots of callbacks to, like, other like other comic stories and movie stories from the past, but not ripping them off in any way, just like little nods of the cap, little tip of the cap, or not even really homage things, just like little like, and not even like cheesy, not winks, but just like little things in the story that like reflections is what I'll call it. Little reflections of things you recognize from, sci-fi or horror films or old comics, and it's just really, really well done. So I'm excited about the project. I mean, the art was already amazing, but now that I've read the script, I'm just like way more excited about the project, and I already know fans are going to go crazy for it. So one to look forward to, which is always really nice. I do think that's one of my favorite parts of what I do is reading all the scripts and just letting the stories in my mind and how I want to do light and color and that sort of thing, just getting the creative juices flowing and letting the imagination go wild and then executing on that. Because it's one thing to like dream about it and think about it, but it's once you start to do it that's when everything really starts to unfold. And I guess I should say once again, today's our first day with multi-stream on this channel. So if you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, I'm not able to see your comments today. I will be soon, just not today. It's the first day. Kind of sprung it on me that we're doing multi-stream. So I can see comments on Octopolis channel on Twitch today. But if you're on YouTube or Facebook, I really appreciate you joining us today. And I'm sorry I can't see your comments, but I will have a solution in place before the next stream, hopefully, where I can see everyone's comments. So it's a good thing that we're doing multi-stream, but it was a surprise. So I was unprepared. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Hopefully you're saying nice things about Cobra Kai, what you think about this season, all that sort of stuff. Oh, thanks for the following, Nabadaz. Hopefully I said that right. So yeah, I'm just getting called out on all the Streamlabs stuff today, aren't I? So Nabadaz, there was a update for me for Streamlabs, and all kinds of things changed. But yeah, the Tiki Tuesday thing was from the last stream, not this stream. But thank you. And I'm not drunk yet, but on Tiki Tuesdays for sure. But yes, thanks for reminding me. And thanks for following. Really appreciate it. But today is not Tiki Tuesday, but today we're drawing Cobra Kai. So it should be a fun time. This one is a commission from Evan, but Evan is going to donate it back to the community for a contest for more subscribers and stuff. So it should end up being good for the entire Octopolis family, as it were. Yes, thank you for joining. Oh, thanks, Evan. Thanks for saying it looks good. So yeah, it's Cobra Kai. So yeah, we've got Johnny and Daniel, aka the Karate Kid, on here, and we'll be doing the Cobra Kai logo in the background and some shading and some color and all kinds of stuff today. But thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Let us know what you're up to. Got a few people in the chat today. Most of them are regulars, but we are always happy to see a new face in here. I think we were, oh yeah, I'm talking about cocktails and stuff, but yeah, Cobra Kai. What do you guys think about the season? What do you think about like Johnny's story arc? Or anything else you're watching on streaming right now? Or any comics you're reading? I saw that the Superman comic that I worked on that Jamal Igle penciled is just getting like rave reviews right now. It came out yesterday. So really, really excited for that. Glad to see that people are checking it out and digging it. He's such a talented artist. And I think the first artwork of his I ever colored was some G.I. Joe stuff for like Wizard magazine, like way back when. But we had worked together off and on over the years, so it was really nice to get to team up with him again for this Superman story. Evan says, I really love the show. Now, Evan, is the third season over or is it still ongoing? Because I do not know. I don't know how many episodes there are. Catherine says, the last book in Bone. Oh, are you talking about the Bone comic book? Or a different Bone? Like Jeff Smith's Bone? And his stuff's all published through Scholastic now, right? Boy, he really saw the writing. Well, he and his wife really saw the writing on the wall. Catherine says yes. Yeah. And now Scholastic, they're doing the series from the guy who was the Captain Underpants creator. I can't think of his name all of a sudden, but I think that's the best-selling comic in the world now. Which is probably much to Marvel and DC chagrin. I'm sure they never imagined that Scholastic would have the best-selling comic book in the world. But I don't know the numbers, but I think they said the last issue of that, one issue, mind you, outsold like the entire like Marvel DC Image line combined for that month. So, I mean, it's a huge deal. A very huge deal. I mean, I can't even imagine. I remember when DC was going to cancel Wonder Woman for falling below 100,000 issues a month, and now if they sell 100,000 issues in a month, they break open the champagne and go dance in the streets, So everything's just different than it used to be. And the characters aren't any less popular. So, I mean, that part's good. I can't think of the name of that comic. But I know it's the same creator as Captain Underpants, that's all I know. It sells like millions of copies. But I think it was all different when most of the publishers were in New York, because they were really focused on, publishing. And I'm not saying they're not focused on publishing now, but once you're absorbed into the like Hollywood movie studio location and you're on the lot, then you're having to deal with meetings with Hollywood people and their demands. And so I'm sure that it can serve as not a distraction, but it's just not the same culture or environment as it was when it was in New York. That's all. Catherine says, I feel like our art, comic, and book editions are helping the world survive. I think you're right. You're totally right about that. I think whether it's musicians, visual artists, anything like that, it is the collectors and the fans that are keeping things going right now. It's not, it's not bookstores or Walmart or Target or anything like that. I mean, that's, it used to be that's all that they cared about. What are the order numbers from, the big booksellers? Well, there are no order numbers, where they're very, very small now. So It's definitely you guys. It's also interesting how the world, or not the world's not the right word, how the larger world economy values these things, because I was reading today that the EU wants to investigate Apple because Apple charges a 30% commission on money generated through like iPhone apps and stuff like that. And this commission saying that it's unfair to the developers, that they should have to pay a 30% commission. And I had to laugh because every art gallery I've ever worked with charges a minimum of a 50% commission. Minimum, right? A company like Displate, which is probably one of the biggest print sellers online right now, their commission is 90%, right? So if you're an artist and they're selling your work, they keep 90% and you get 10%. And nobody's investigating them, right? Why? Because the value, the world culture is not placing value on the art or artist, and it doesn't matter. But the tech companies are under a microscope, and anything they do, gets looked at. And so they're like, "Oh, you're taking a 30% commission. Oh my!" I'm like, 30%. I'd be thrilled if the companies that I worked with only took a 30% commission. So it is kind of funny how it's what I always joke about. The rules do not apply the same to everyone in every industry, and that's definitely true because it's all based on people's perception, and they perceive, the apps and app makers to be smarter and more valuable and whatever. And there's not a level playing field for creators like, artists and musicians and that sort of thing. Evan says, I watched the Stargirl show. It was good. I love the comic. I haven't seen the show yet. I hate to admit it, but it's true. But I have not seen the show yet. But I'm sure it's fantastic because, all the people involved with it are good people who've done great things for comics and television. So one can only imagine the level of quality they bring to that as well. Quinch Press says, I really enjoyed season 1 of Stargirl. Excellent. Good to hear that. Well, I'm glad that's 2 votes for Stargirl. That's what we like to hear. Good things. Well, and she's always been a great character, so it's nice to see her kind of getting her due a little bit, because I think, DC fans have known for a long time what a great character she is. But she doesn't really get like the same amount of recognition as like Captain Marvel or somebody, So it's good. It's good that they're doing a show and getting it out there. Now, how are they doing Stripe on the show? Is it all CG? Quinch Press says it's on HBO Max. I should watch it. Yeah, I should. I totally should. I freely admit that. I'm sure I would enjoy it. And the funny thing is, I've watched more television during the pandemic than I probably watched the whole decade leading up to it. So I was never much of didn't watch a lot of shows and movies. I'm the type I'll work on I'll write a book instead of reading a book, and I'll make a video instead of watching a video, and all that, just the typical creator cliche stuff. But it's true for me at least, and so sometimes it's hard to get me to sit still and watch things because I tend to be making things instead. But that's our lot in life as artists, I think, is that we're never content unless we're just creating something, constantly. Quinch Press says, Season 1 was on DC Universe. I wish Season 2 was being produced for HBO, but it's gone to the CW, and rumors are that the budget will be greatly reduced to standard CW levels. Yeah, that is a shame. On one hand, I think everything to do with like HBO Max and Disney Plus, all that was greatly accelerated due to the pandemic. Clearly, like we know this. But like you say, on the other hand, it would be interesting to know, like, if the pandemic had not happened, even if the growth rate of some of the services were slower, would the budgets for individual shows and stuff have been larger because they might have been focused a little less on quantity? Because obviously right now with, so many people are still working from home and everything, that the major focus is on, let's get out as much new content as we possibly can. And I think under the current circumstances, that does make sense. I mean, Netflix is doing what, a new movie every week right now? Evan says, I'm back. And I think Netflix has sort of proven, at least again during the pandemic, we'll put that as our caveat, right? Everything is based on people being stuck at home. But during the pandemic, at least, Netflix has sort of proven that, people just want to see something they haven't seen before, regardless of, how good it is, or if it's even, is it made in Hollywood or is it made in some other country? I mean, it's almost like none of that stuff matters right now. It's just, is it new and have I seen it? And that strategy, at least for Netflix, seems to be working right now. So I'm sure that the other streaming services will not ignore that. They'll pay attention to that success and say, well, how do we get a piece of that action? And I saw that Disney's, oh, hey, thanks for the resubscription there, Evan. 9 months on a 7-month streak. Good job, man. I think you're only one behind Quinch Press right now. Maybe you'll catch up. I saw that Disney's financials, they their Disney Plus is like the major part of their profit right now and is totally kicking ass. So, it's good news for those of us that want to stay home and consume, I guess, because it means there should be more options on the way. Evan says Superman and Lois is great too. Yeah, I was tempted on that one. I haven't checked it out yet, but I think Les Dudas was kind of saying that it was just okay or something, and so I hadn't really talked myself into it. But I'll definitely check it out. When CW first came out with all the shows, Arrow and Flash and everything, I watched all of them, but something happened. Oh, well, we were traveling internationally, and so that's what kind of got me out of it, is that you miss one season or a major part of a season, and then you kind of feel like, oh, I need to get caught back up, and then time goes by, and you know what happens. It all just kind of falls to the background. But I love them all. I mean, Arrow and Flash were two of my favorites for so long. And even though the first season of Arrow was a little rough to get through, you could see the potential was there. And like once they got to the second season, they just like started, kicking ass, which was nice. And by the time like Flash came out, they had it pretty much down to a science already. Yes, thanks for resubscribing. Really appreciate it. And I'll just use this minute to give a shout out to everybody. Like, hey, thanks to everyone who follows and subscribes on Twitch. And thanks to everyone who has joined our Patreon. And thanks to everyone who is a Collector Club member on Octopolis.com. I would not be surviving the pandemic without you guys. So thank you so much. And definitely thanks to people like Evan, who not only commission sketches, but he's going to donate this sketch that we can use it as a giveaway to get more followers and subscribers. So giving back to the community. Thank you so much, Evan. just about have all the black inks done on this, and then we can start doing some grayscale shading. Possibly take some time to add a little color to this logo. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, did any of you guys check out the Made You Look documentary on Netflix yet? The one about the art forgeries? I know I was talking about it on Tuesday, but I didn't know if anybody had a chance to go check it out since then. I really enjoyed it. And I don't think it's that long. I think it's like 90 minutes or something. So it's not like a big time commitment. And I just watched it like 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's just so shocking to see everything about it. Let's go one shade lighter than that. Come on. Where is my 70? There it is. There it is. But yeah, so if you haven't seen Made You Look, it's about a famous art gallery in New York and how they get sort of scammed by a forger. And I say forger, but it's really, there's three people. There's the person who's the mastermind, the person who is actually creating the forged art, and then the person who is passing the art to the gallery. And so those three people are scamming this gallery, and no one really knows if the gallery was innocent or if they were in on it. But regardless, the gallery is then passing these paintings, selling these paintings on to collectors and museums where they get displayed as authentic pieces of art. And, they're auctioned off for millions of dollars and stuff. And this went on for like 20 years before anyone got caught and figured out what was going on and everything. So it was really, really a cool story. And especially, if you're into art, about the artist who was doing the forgeries and how they were able to recreate so many different styles and fool so many different so-called experts. So yeah, if you haven't seen that one, and you're into artwork, it's definitely worth a look. Worth your time, for sure. All right, let's go down to 50. Is my 50? It's a 60. Where did you go? 40, 50. There we go. So yeah, definitely one to check out. I liked it a lot. The other one that really got me was the I Care a Lot movie. I'm so glad that it won an award because it was just so well crafted and equal parts like infuriating and exhilarating. So I was glad to see that one kind of perform as well as it did at the award shows and stuff, because it was, if not a wholly original movie, it was definitely a concept I don't know that we've seen in any kind of film like that before. So, and the actors are great. Oh, hey Monique, good to see you. What are you making for dinner tonight? Let us know before you sign off. We have to live vicariously through you. And thanks for watching me draw Cobra Kai today. It's been kind of fun to get back into the swing of things here. With Johnny and Daniel and Co. here. Cornish game hen and stuff. Oh, with stuffing and asparagus. Wow, that sounds fantastic. All right. I know I always joke that I'll be right over, but that sounds really good. Sounds pretty fantabulous, if you ask me. All right, that's 50. Let's go down to 30. 30. 30. Bye, Mooney. Good to see you. Have a good night. Quinch Press says, I watched the season 7 premiere of Flash last night. Even though the writing has always been a bit up and down, more so than in the past, I had a hard time getting into the episode. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Were there any like huge between season cast changes or anything this time around? Or is it all pretty much how it's been? I also wonder like how much did I wonder how much COVID like affected their production and stuff, you know? I saw something about all these shows are trying to get back into production, and you know, the actors are having to like rehearse their lines social distance, you know, at least 6 feet apart. They're having to like rehearse their like love scenes, you know, standing apart from each other and only committing it, you know, when they are actually filming and stuff. So it's kind of interesting to think about all that's going on with that right now. So many changes. So much going on. Hold on for a second, guys. I gotta let the cat out. Okay, say goodbye. Say goodnight to Indy. She's got to run. Okay. There you go. Indy wants to see what you're doing. And I'm back. Sorry, the cat had shut the door in this room and she couldn't get out. She's like sitting there staring at me. She's like, "Hey, dude, come let me out of here." But yeah, I always liked The Flash, so I'll have to see how I feel about this season. And you know, no matter how good a show is, I mean, the truth is they can only come up with like new ideas for so long, or the cast burns out or finds new shows, or you know, even the biggest hits seem to like wind down eventually. So it wouldn't be the first time something like that happened. And not the last, right? Just trying to imagine where some of the light and shadow would be on Johnny's face here, and keep it kind of clean, but try to give him a little bit of emotion and shading and stuff too, you know. Evan says, I really like Stargirl. Quinch Press says, the whole thing with Iris still being stuck in the mirror universe and Ava as a long-term big bad, plus a few other things carried over from last season, they just need to be wrapped up. It was a bit convoluted. You know, obviously I haven't seen the episode yet, but I think that thing what you're saying about needing to be wrapped up is a good point. There seems to be, with movies and TV right now, or shows right now on streaming, a lot of the stuff that's coming out seems to be not having resolutions, at the end of the at the film or the end of the season or whatever. And um, I think that's a hard thing for audiences. We need resolutions. I mean, there can be cliffhangers, but we still need resolutions. And so I think that's a very valid and salient point. I watched King of Staten Island with Pete Davidson, directed by Judd Apatow. Overall, like, really nicely executed film, and I can see why it had so much like hype and buzz when it first came out. But the lack of resolution at the ending just about drove me nuts. And it didn't ruin the film for me, but I could see where it would for some people. It definitely made it unfulfilling after I'd invested time into the characters and everything. So I definitely get that, where just that one thing that, like, not having a resolution, not having the character arc complete in some sort of way is frustrating, and it doesn't feel good as a viewer. And so, we're humans, right? So if something doesn't feel good, why would we keep doing it? All right. I think Johnny's starting to come along there. Get a little depth on him. Do here to Daniel. Let's start out with a little bit of this 20%. Let's do a little bit of shading on him. Just get a few things roughed in here. Yeah, the mirror universe thing, it seems like quite a few people are upset with that. So I don't think it's just you. I know I've heard that from other people. I know there was speculation on, is there disagreements among the cast members when the writers start separating them out and that kind of thing. I mean, we've seen it with other shows too that do that technique, so who knows? Could mean something, could mean nothing, but we'll see. I think this 30% marker is starting to die a little bit. Might be time to bust open a new pack. Have to remember to see if I have another set or if I'll need to prime it, as I want to do. Just trying to not get crazy with the detail, just bring in a little bit of shading and shadows, just to give them a little bit more form and shape here. It's the plan anyway. Well, now I see that everyone's talking about watching Stargirl and the Flash. What about reading? Are we reading any specific comics or books or anything now. I know quite a few people are reading the new Star Wars books. That's pretty exciting. I was thinking, I had a Star Wars thought, which I'm not trying to recreate the new trilogy or anything like that. I just had a thought the other day, which is that what if instead of Kylo killing Snoke, what if Snoke died of some natural cause? He was old, or the Force chose to like snuff him out, something, right? Some cause that is not created by any of the characters in the story. And because of that, there becomes like a power struggle within the First Order, right? We've got Kylo, and we've got different people within the military, and maybe there's some other Sith or Hutts or evil or something out there beyond Snoke or the Emperor, if the Emperor really does exist in this time period or whatever, right? But there's some other big bads out there, and it sets up like a battle or a war for who is going to become the dominant force in the galaxy. And could that have been like a more interesting like jumping off point than, you know, Snoke or Emperor Palpatine coming back or something? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I kind of liked that idea. That, you know, if Snoke died without an obvious heir, there would become like a power vacuum, you know, in the galaxy. And then it would be maybe more interesting to see like who comes in to try to, you know, become that dominant power. And then that could maybe be a more interesting way to lead Kylo through some, you know, ups and downs that would bring him to a place of redemption. And it probably could have proved like a really interesting story arc for Rey as well. So, I don't know, just an idea. Curious what you guys think about it. Quinchpress says, I recently picked up The Wrong Earth Volume 1 with artwork by Jamal Igle, but haven't started reading it yet. Oh, okay, well, you got to do that. Jamal's one of the best, man. Got to check that out. All right, let's do a little bit of shading on the headband, I think, just to tie into what we're doing on the face, just so it all makes sense. All right. What do we think about this so far, guys? I think I'm going to grab my paints and start to work some like yellow into this logo here. So give me just a second to do that. So hold on, everybody. I'll be right back. And we're back. Catherine says, I would have loved that. It would have made them more different than it would have made it more different than how they are so similar to the original trilogy. Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I thought, man, it would have been more entertaining, and like you said, it would have made it less like the original trilogy. So, anyway, just a thought. Just a thought. So we gotta get some yellow and a little bit of red. Quinch says, "Well, that sounds like a better idea than what we got." Well, I'm not taking anything away from those filmmakers at all. I had that. I just thought, that would be such a cool idea, because then you could have, all the different warring factions or powerful factions of the Star Wars universe come out, and if the Emperor, or if Snoke dies, and it happens in such a way that there's a power vacuum, you could even have like Mandalorians and Hutts and different factions that have to either choose to fight one another or choose to band together or something. So it could be kind of interesting. Just going to add a touch of red to this yellow so it doesn't look so crazy. All right. Should be a nice way to finish this off. Just let this logo back here pop a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Just like a little spot color. So once again, thanks to everybody who's watching today. I know we're getting close to the end of this stream. This was our first day for multi-stream. So instead of just being on Twitch, we're on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. So thanks for watching. Because it's the first day of multi-stream, I can only see the comments on Twitch right now. So if you're commenting on Facebook or YouTube and I'm not responding, I am sorry, but I will figure that out. This whole multi-stream thing was a surprise today. So, but we're glad that that's been unlocked for my account, and I'll get to where I can see everybody's comments and interact with all of you. We do appreciate you watching today. Always a ton of fun to hang out and see what you're up to, and just share the art and comics and movies and what's going on. Quinchper says, if we're going to go back and change a major plot point, I'd just never bring Snoke into the story at all. Well, that's true, but I would still, if they had a big bad like that, it'd be interesting for me to see, the characters try to, not to try to just like fight or replace the big bad, but to see that like power vacuum idea. But yeah, you're right. All right, I gotta be careful not to overly wet this black because I don't want it to start to bleed. Just give it just a hint of color here will just help everything pop, I kind of had this in mind anyway when I was doing the composition, so I was hoping we'd have time to add a little color. Well, and be sure to join us again on Tuesday for Tiki Tuesday, our virtual Tiki-themed cocktail party every week. Always a ton of fun. And I have a couple of sketch commissions on my list, so hopefully I'll be back next week as well to do some more. That's the hope, at least. It always kind of depends on the schedule. but I definitely do appreciate all of you. What we got going on here? And Quinch, if you want to start looking for streams to raid, we can do that too. All right, we'll get just a little bit more red here. Get it nice, kind of red-orange for the tongue. All right. Well, there we go. There's our Cobra Kai sketch for today. This was a commission for Evan, and like I said, he's donating it back to be used as a giveaway. So we'll be announcing how you can win this through supporting our channel and our Patreon and everything in the near future. In the meantime, we'll just take about 30 seconds here. Oh, Evan says it came out great. Thank you so much, Evan. I know it took forever for me to get to this one, but it was actually a lot of fun, so I'm glad I did. We're going to take about 30 seconds here and run the credits, and then we'll look for someone to go chase today. So give me just a second. Here they come, finally. Well, that was fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And Quinch Press says, I think the Emperor and Vader dying at the end of Return of the Jedi left enough of a power vacuum. It could have taken even through the Force Awakens, or even though Force Awakens was years after Return of the Jedi, there could be a vacuum. Well, yeah, but we still didn't. They didn't explore that theme, right? So that was kind of the point. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. Let's find a channel to raid today. All right, we're going to go for that one, Quinch. So get your emotes ready, get your likes ready, get your cheers ready. Thank you to everyone who is a follower and a subscriber. If you're not, please join us today. And stay on target. And I will, hey, stay on target, not upside down. Stay on target. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.